170,000 Americans just voted in favor for the sickening act on Trump, and there's no stopping them. The left's hate for President Trump is no secret to anyone in America. For months liberals have lamented, protested, and schemed to have Trump removed from office by any means necessary. These threats have come from celebrities, politicians, and violent groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Instead of these hateful individuals being punished for inciting violence against the sitting president, the mainstream media and liberal politicians have remained virtually silent. As these offensive threats continue to pour in, sadly, one of those sick wishes received a staggering 170,000 likes on Twitter, and the number continues to grow. What has made America the greatest country on earth has not only been our military prowess, but our freedoms that we were founded on. One of the main tenets of our country has been the right of free speech and to speak out against our government and protest when citizens feel slighted. However, that free speech has taken a dangerous turn when thousands of Americans are abusing that right with calls of violence and even murder towards President Trump. After Trump was elected last November, the hateful rhetoric against him only intensified, with top Democrats joining in on the chaos. Former U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch released a disturbing video with violent calls to action to exact on a change in the country, even if that meant bloodshed. We have always had to work to move this country forward to achieve the great ideals of our founding fathers. They've marched, they've bled, yes, some of them have died. This is hard. Every good thing is. We have done this before, we can do this again. Then former vice presidential candidate Tim Kaine echoed that chilling sentiment as well during an interview on MSNBC. Mika Brzezinski, co-host of the television show Morning Joe, asked Kaine this following question, and his answer was quite telling. So, broad question about the future of the Democratic Party, especially given your first-hand experience with what we've all been through. There's so much going on here that we clearly see, places where we can criticize what the administration is doing, but how does the party rebuild? How do you prevent overreach in a situation like this? How do you prevent a continuation of the bubble in a situation like this? And how does the party reclaim its reach across the country while fighting these battles? And, here's Tim Kaine's response. So, the way we get outside the bubble is we take advantage of this tremendous public outcry against the administration. What we've got to do is fight in Congress, fight in the courts, fight in the streets, fight online, fight at the ballot box, and now there's the momentum to be able to do this. And we're not afraid of the popular outcry, we're energized by it, and that's going to help us do our job and do it better. So, with the apparent blessing of top Democrats calling for violence against the Trump administration, is it any surprise that hateful liberals would continue spouting their nasty fantasies online? Not at all. But what is equally disturbing is the number of likes one call for violence received on Twitter, and the fact it was never taken down by the liberal social media giant. Here is more from InfoWars. A tweet in which an individual joked that John Hinckley Jr. should be prepared to go back to psychiatric hospital because we need him again to assassinate Trump received over 70,000 retweets and 170,000 likes on Twitter. Hinckley Jr. was released in September last year, 35 years after attempting to kill President Ronald Reagan in Washington, D.C. Reagan survived the assassination attempt despite being hit in the chest by a bullet that ricocheted off the side of the presidential limousine. In response to a Slate article about Hinckley Jr.'s release from a psychiatric hospital, a Twitter user remarked, "I hope he's ready to go back because we need him again." Since being posted yesterday, the tweet has received over 70,000 retweets and over 170,000 likes. The Twitter user who posted the tweet @SimpBoys, links to the PayPal account of a person named Cameron Makel who lives in Baltimore. Users on the original Slate tweet that linked to the article about Hinckley Jr. being released also joked about him killing Trump. "Maybe he can meet our new president," remarked one. "Drop him off at a gun show and tell him Trump is banging Jodie," added another, a reference to Hinckley Jr.'s obsession with Jodie Foster. While jokes and serious assassination threats against Trump are rampant on Twitter, The fact that this one received over 70,000 retweets and 170,000 likes in less than 24 hours without being removed emphasizes how much of a far-left trash heap the social media network really is. It is obvious that the left will stop at nothing to ensure that their wicked plans to stop Trump will continue. These hateful individuals are so consumed with malice that they cannot see that they are the ones who are the sole contributors to the divisive climate in our country. As stated previously, it is one thing to speak out against policies that you disagree with, but it is quite another to call for the death of a president and receive no consequences for those actions. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.